Here we go. Another goddamn day. Just making this video. Gonna be posting it, obviously. Yeah. Just making another video how much I hate this fucking life. And the world we're brought in without any consent. And somehow we're just supposed to agree with it. Like somehow we're supposed to feel that we have an obligation to be here. And we don't. Nobody really does. It's just that they're instructed to believe that by the parents. You'd be surprised how many parents have their kids by accident, and probably regret it later. Me, I'm a cycle breaker though. I don't have my own kids, and it's because I broke the cycle. I'm a generational breaker. I really feel like I don't believe in having kids because of the world we live in. And I myself think this world is disgusting. And the people even worse. Which is why I don't really have friends. And I like to keep it that way. Not by choice. Not because people don't want to be friends. It's because I choose not to. I've had many people that want to be friends and I just decline. I don't really like the human species. I think I'd rather have a dog for the rest of my life. But then again, I think about that too, and it's like, why would I want to keep a dog a prisoner, chained up because of me? Nah, that's like captivity. So I'd rather just, I don't want to be here, I'm just here for now, but I can't wait for this shit to end. It's crazy. I really don't want to be here. I think this world is disgusting. And I think it should all be ended, but I don't have the power. If I did, I would push the button right away. I'm pro-life. I don't think this is good for anyone. I just think people are instructed to feel that way. This is me. Obviously, I have my own view of the world, but what's good about this is that there's a community out there who thinks the same way I do, or worse, which is not a bad thing. I'm glad there's a community who is into antinatalism and Efilism and all that. I'm glad that I was able to find people that are like-minded and think the same way I do, and that also believes in euthanasia and self-determination, and suicide. And I'm also pro-suicide, or pro. I don't support the suicide prevention movement. I think it's a violation of rights. People should have a right to kill themselves if they really want to. Nobody should have to be subjected to pain or suffering because of other people's thoughts. People think, like, life can be better, just stick around. Like, they come up with everything in the book to keep somebody here against their will when they didn't even choose to be here to begin with. I think that's a crime. It should be looked at as a crime. Nobody asked to be here, and we were subjected to this shit without our consent, and it's disgusting. And you'd be surprised how many people keep there are people who keep these feelings to themselves because they're afraid of losing their job. That's fucked up. And people are gonna kill themselves anyways. If people really have if people really want out, there's nothing anybody can do. So all this suicide movements are really just suicide prevention movements are basically just to profit. We are like profit kettles. That's what we are. We're nothing but profits. And people are like think somehow like It's just the way they're instructed to like believe that we're somehow special, or it's crazy. We are garbage. Um, yeah, nature is rejecting us, and that's a good thing. Nature didn't need people, but yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad that there's a community that thinks the same way I do. We should have a right to exit without pain, but then again, that would require euthanasia, and the government hates that because the government will loot a lot of people, and they're afraid of that, right? So that's why when Jack Kevorkian was providing that for people, he wasn't killing anyone. He was providing that, um, you know, and it was a two-party consented, um, you know, duty. It wasn't like, oh, he was killing people. That they were trying to make him. They were trying to make him look like a killer, and he was not a killer. He was somebody providing, helping people. It is help, because when you compare, how they were doing, now they're not suffering. And what's really funny about this shit is that it takes another person's view to fuck you up, and their view somehow is right and ours is wrong. When in reality, it's the opposite. When you really look at this shit and the things they're doing, like, which one is worse? You're profiting from their pain. They're not getting any better. You're still profiting from it. Like, and the thing about this is that they're profiting. What are we getting? More pain. So isn't that the catch, though? Like, they're literally proving our point, and they're still denying it. That's what they're doing, They just keep people sick, and they profit and profit until they die anyways, and then they'll be like, next. But somehow people are in denial. People are in denial that they don't see this shit, or they either play stupid because they're afraid of the truth, which makes sense. And it's just sick. Like, I really hope that this shit ends soon. And I think it is. Like, we are seeing more and more and more of things that are proving our point. I think they're already legalized euthanasia in some places already, which is good. People should have a right for that. We shouldn't have to be subjected to this because people had different views or opinions. That's like us saying, something, and then, they don't agree, and we push it towards them anyway, and we're not pushing anything. We're just asking, for the people that want out. We shouldn't have to be subjected to this. Just because other people had different views. We didn't ask to be here, We did not ask for this shit. And we shouldn't have to stick around just because other people want us to. Or somehow they have a different view that things could get better. For a lot of people, that's not the case. But again, they profit. It's all about profit in America. So that's not really a mystery. I think I read somewhere that more people are having less kids. They're having less babies. That's a great start, because people are starting to see things. And I personally would never bring a kid here to this world, period. Yeah, it's corrupt. It's corrupt. They're gonna repeat the same thing that I did here, and I hate this shit. I despise it. I wake up and I wish I didn't. Human nature, of course. Yeah, we gotta stay busy. We gotta do something because our body pushes us to. Because we have fucking urges. I fucking hate it, though. It's slavery. Like, we are slaves even without wanting to. But yeah, it's fucking disgusting. All I look around, all I see is shit. Like, it's disgusting. Like, none of this shit is attractive. Nothing in this life is attractive. We are not attractive. Fucking ego. We have ego. I have it. We all have it. But it's disgusting. But I'm the type of person that will tell you that. I'm not gonna be in denial of myself. It's human nature, though. But it's fucking disgusting. Um, yeah, and I make videos to rant because I would never talk. First of all, I don't really have friends, and that's a good thing. I don't really like to talk to many people. I like to keep to myself. I only talk to people when I have to, is because there are things that you have to do. Like go to the store. Even if you like, even if you don't want to talk to people, there's gonna be a time because how this shit is designed that you have to talk to someone. It's like fuck. I wish they would legalize euthanasia. Like I really wish they would, so that we can just check out. Just give us the pill or the injection, so we just opt out of this shit already. So we don't have to like blow our brains out or like hang ourselves or something, because that's more pain. And I wouldn't like that's what's really keeping me here, and it sucks, cause like it's torture. It's like basically like involuntary torture. Because I bet you even people that have or that are already dead, I bet you when they were like jumping from a bridge or from a building, or they hung themselves, or whatever. I bet you they had some type of regret. You know, even if when they were dying, I bet you the regret came in, but it was too late. And that's a good thing. If they die quick, I think it's great because it will be less regret, and then they will be unconscious. They will not be here anymore, non-existing. So that's a good thing. But imagine like surviving a suicide attempt and being like a vegetable. Oh, that would suck. That's another reason why I'm also like haven't tried really. Uh, I attempted suicide once, and I took a bunch of pills, and I was in the ICU for a while. Uh, but I hate it. I wish I would have succeeded. I haven't attempted it again because I'm afraid that it wouldn't work. And that's also another thing why I'm still here. I hate this shit, but I don't really have a way out that I can think of that's gonna be really successful, because I don't really have many. Like I just rather, if I had like a way that would be like less painful, like euthanasia, or like some type of something that would like knock me out quick, then I would do it. I wouldn't be here anymore. But I don't have access to a gun. Um, I'm afraid of guns myself, but I don't have access to one either. I don't even know how you would even what you would need to do to even buy a gun here. And now I don't have the budget to be buying guns. I did some research, and guns are expensive, and I don't have money for that. But even with guns, like you could still fail, and then what? And that's with euthanasia. With euthanasia, that has never failed anybody. That would kill you instantly. And the good thing about it is that it's not painful at all, and it's quick. And that's what I like. That's what I would like. You know, uh, uh, it sounds humane to me. Like it really sounds humane. It sounds like the easiest way out, and it sounds humane. And the best thing about it is that it's peaceful. It's peaceful. Like you're not gonna be like rolling around in pain, or you're not gonna be like like or something. You're not gonna survive it. That's good. That's the point. And I think it's humane. I think that's a good way out. Why prolong something that we don't want to be in? It's shady. It's shitty. It's disgusting. Again, all these movements they have is really just to profit from people. They just want to profit, make money off of people, you know, and it's sick. Uh, but yeah, I'm just ranting. Obviously, I'm here, but I fucking hate this shit every fucking day. I hate it. I hate waking up, even doing this shit. Like, so pointless. I just can't wait till it's all over, and then we can just be done with this shit. And I'm glad there's a community that thinks the same way I do, and I'm glad I found that community. And we should have a right to die. We should have a right to not be stigmatized, or not have a stigma. Like when we talk about suicide, like it's a bad thing or something. And it's not. If people are suffering and they're breaking and they don't have any help, and even if they do, well, what help do they get really? When you think about it, the systems here in America are just for profit. They profit from them and then they send them home, only for them to break again. And then, I've been through this, so I can talk about it. That's why I don't believe in it. I don't ask for help because there is none. There is profit though. When you go to a hospital, they're going to profit from you, and it's all about control and power. Really, it's just profiting from people that don't. They should be helped, but they're not, because the whole point is profit. Because if they keep people sick or they keep people in that mentality, then it's like, oh, they'll be back. They call it they don't call it a spinning door for no reason, or revolving door. It's a revolving door, but because that's the choice they're making to keep people like that. And that's why I don't believe in it. That's why I don't even ask for help. It's bullshit. It's literally, listen, I could write a book about this shit. But then again, it's really pointless because they're not going to change anything, because it's already made up the way it is, and they're going to profit from people until they die. And then more people will come, and people continue to have babies. More people will come, and then they'll profit from them. And that's generation after generation. Everything that we're saying, it has been talked about in other generations. It's biblical too. It's mentioned in the Bible. And profit. And the people who talk about truths like this, they're somehow crazy. You name it. I mean, Jesus was persecuted for telling the truth. We're not Jesus, but I mean, you see the match. But yeah, and Jesus was really a innocent person. He didn't do anything wrong. But yeah, some of us understand, like, it's really just a profit. Wait, am I going there? Okay. It's just for profit. Nothing will change. We will die, more will come, and then the cycle will continue. I broke the cycle. I chose to break the cycle so my kids don't go through this. So what do? I don't get a woman pregnant. And you can't have a baby if you don't do the things so you can have a baby. I don't need to go into details. Any grown person would know that. So I have to make the choice of not breeding a woman or not being with anyone. I had a girlfriend and I broke up. She wanted kids. I told her no. And I told her the reason why. And we were together for 3 years. And we were engaged. And I told her no. I don't want kids. She can find another man that can satisfy her with that if she really wants that. I'm not going to do that because my beliefs are strong. And my beliefs are more important than any woman telling me to have babies. Breeding is not really necessary to live, but people are brainwashed. So, but yeah, just making this video because I really genuine about the feelings about this, and I really believe in it. And just like other people have their beliefs, I have mine. And there is a community out there who thinks the same way I do, and that's great. It's a great start, and the community is growing. We should have the right to die, and we should be having the right to be at least make euthanasia legal for people that want out. They shouldn't have to jump up a bridge. They shouldn't have to shoot themselves. They shouldn't have to be subjected to this because some other people make a decision to bring them here, whether it was an accident or not. It's still cruel. If they don't want to be here, they should have a right to be out. So yeah, I'll be posting this on YouTube and my other social media platforms. But until then, take care, and hopefully one day we will be freed from all this shit. Till then, take care.